Prawn here, and if you're looking to get yourself a nice flaming sword like this one in Grounded, then I'm going to talk you through how to do it. This is known as the spicy Coaltana, and it requires a few different steps in order to acquire because it is pretty tricky. But as you can see, it makes pretty light work of wolf spiders and lavas and other creatures, and it has the ability to glow, so obviously it gives off a glow which is perfect for the dark areas. Now this is acquired from the area of the map with the fallen barbecue and this bag of flaming charcoal. Basically there's a hole in this bag that you need to go inside in order to activate a special event that will then allow you to get the recipe for the sword. But in order to do that, you're going to need a few things first, because you will probably die otherwise. You can see that I'm wearing the antlion armor, so I'm going to get to that in a second. So basically we've got to find our way over here, and this is towards the shed if you need a pointer in the direction of it. So the shed's there, and then you have this bag, and at the bag near the back, near this lantern, there's a hole in the underside which you can go in, and then you can start the event and move on with it. But we're going to need to be prepared first. So the first thing I'd recommend is getting yourself some antlion armor. Now, if you haven't got this already, you will see that it gives you sizzle protection. So all three parts of it will give you sizzle protection. That's really important because what we're about to do is very hot. I also had this insulating lava spike, which also gives sizzle protection, although I'm not sure where I got that from, to be honest. And I'm using this tick weapon, which gives a lifesteal when you use it. Also, I'd recommend getting some smoothies and some food to ensure you've got enough life during this battle, because we're going to need a lot of it. Then mutations. There are a number of mutations that will help. Meat Shield gives you maximum health increase. Also, Natural Explorer gives you the quickness to make you have a bit more stamina, move around a bit faster. And then the other one I would recommend is Fresh Defense, because again, that gives sizzle protection. So you can combine all these things for maximum sizzle protection. Or alternatively, you could use something like Spicy Safety, which gives you smashing resistance. So these things combined will help you with what you're about to do, so it's really important to get those. Now, if you don't know where the antlion stuff is, that's in the sand pit, which is in the bottom left corner of the map, and that's where the black ants are as well. Antlions are an absolute pain to kill. They are quite difficult, and the sandpit also is difficult in itself because it gets very hot during the day. So I'd recommend doing this at night and fighting the antlions and killing a lot of them, because antlion armor is really useful and antlion body parts are. Now, if you can, I'd recommend trying to get a wolf spider involved in the fight, because they'll help you kill the antlions. Obviously trying to avoid getting killed by them at the same time. And you can get a fight on and kill as many of these antlions as possible. Also, if you find some that are in the holes, in the ground, half buried, these are a bit trickier to kill, but it's worth doing. And also watch out, because weaknesses are slashing and salty, but they're resistant to chopping fresh and spicy. Just pay attention to that, because that will really help you get the gear that you need to. So now we're back at the bag again of charcoal, and in the middle of the bag is the sword, and it's flaming in there at the moment, and what you need to do is try and pull it out. It won't give it to you though. What it does is activates a special event where basically the creatures are going to start attacking. They're trying to attack the sword rather than you. But what I've found is it's good to use some sort of club like the mint mace, for example, if you can, and then just hunt down the lavas as they spawn and try and get them before they get anywhere near the sword, because they're going to prioritize destroying the sword first, but if you're nearby they'll attack you as well. So your goal is essentially to maneuver them into a position where you can kill them where they're not anywhere near the sword and they won't be damaging it. If they damage it, it will reset and you'll have to start all over again if they destroy it, and it does take some time. You can see, despite all these various sizzle protections, I'm also sizzling constantly, and it's climbing. I'd recommend, if this happens to you, to just run away a little bit, try and get up onto these bits up here until you cool down. It will drop down quite quickly. The closer you get to the sword, the more you'll sizzle, so don't stand right next to it. If you can, try and find the enemies out at the edges and try and battle them before they get close. I've sped this up a bit, but once you've got that done, you should then be able to complete it, and you'll then get the recipe. You don't have to pick anything up, it's just automatically applied. Now, while you're near the coal and the grill, I'd head over into the grill parts, because you've got the sizzle protection on, and get some charcoal. And then when you go back to base, you'll see the spicy Coaltana can now be crafted. You need spicy globs, whole chunks, and tough gunk. So some of these things are pretty difficult to collect. Obviously, we've already got the coal as we were just there. but you will then find that you can then craft the weapon. And it is actually pretty powerful from what I've seen. And obviously you also have the option to upgrade it at a smithing station as well. So you can improve it even more and make it even more dangerous. But I've used it against a variety of creatures and it seems to be pretty effective. And also it has the bonus of lighting up the area. So when you're playing at night, you'll be able to see a lot more of what's going on. If you enjoyed this, check out the links in the description to more tips and tricks on Grounded.